Thank you for attending the Parks, Library, and Arts Committee meeting for September 21st. It has been my pleasure to serve as your chair, and I'm particularly very, very proud of the webinars that we did for both parks, libraries, and arts, which are still available online, and I hope that they will be beneficial to the subsequent committee as it is formed to understand what these departments do and why they do it. So look for that. If you haven't seen them, refresh your memory.
Thank you for your leadership.
We have two items very quickly. The resolution RS 2021-1149 approves an application for an American Rescue Plan grant from the National Endowment for the Arts to the Metro Nashville Arts Commission to promote arts grants in organizations and individuals. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
How exactly would this be used to promote organizations?
So we would use this to fund organizations directly, like through our grants program, but this would be, we would prioritize organizations with budgets under $1 million, so arts and cultural organizations within the city, and then also artists. So we've set aside $100,000 to pay artists directly, and we have to do projects or some sort of deliverable there, but we're hoping, just based on the ARP guidance, that those projects could be community healing or mental health support or other sort of community support projects with artists with this funding.
Would any of this funding go towards the Thrive grants?
It wouldn't necessarily go toward the Thrive bucket, but it would be similarly distributed just because it's coming from a different place, but it would be similarly managed.
Okay.
Just for clarity, this approves an application. We still need to get it. So, happy thoughts. All those in favor?
Aye.
I see none against. That concludes our normal work. We have in front of us actually a abnormal, no, it's a completely normal zoning bill. The reason it came to our committee was simply as a safety net. Opportunity to be able to do that, and so we have the item was approved 14 in favor, 1 against, and 0 abstentions by the planning committee yesterday. And with that explanation, I move. Do I have a motion to take this? Okay. If there are no other questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
I have a question.
Okay, good. Question?
So what is the reasoning for doing this zoning change?
Well, so the developer came to the community, suggested this, and this is a much better use than what was there. Basically, there were rundown houses back there and a lot of kind of vagrant, things happening at night. And so when the developer, who's been building in that neighborhood for almost 30 years, came to the community, he presented a plan that the community loved. So the Nation's Neighborhood Association signed off on it, the Planning and Zoning Committee signed off on it, I signed off on it, planning staff signed off on it, because it's a really good plan.
And I know one of the discussion points was stormwater, and so I'm assuming there would be stormwater stuff integrated in throughout the...
Yeah, so stormwater was brought up by the Planning Commission, not by Metro Water, not by the planning staff. It was brought up by a person at the Planning Commission. So that actually is not an issue. And I have a letter from Tom Palco saying that this is not in the building envelope, it's not in the 100-year floodplain or floodway, and that it's only at the end of the street that's even in the flood, the 100-year at all.
You can't build in the floodplain or the floodway,
Right.
so
You can't build in the
the
floodplain.
plan
That's
is not
correct.
to build back there in that flood zone anyway. We discussed that the other day.
Yeah, the end of it is just gonna be a connection on my greenway. He's leaving a huge space that he's gonna help connect West Park to England Park. So that's what the floodway is going, the very back of the property is gonna be used for, which is great.
And that makes it very relevant to parks.
There you go. Full circle. Thank you, Councilman Hancock.
And I appreciate the additional information you gave from the chair of the Nation's Neighborhood Association, as well as an explanation and a mapping for our full understanding. With that, are there any other questions about this strange situation? Anybody? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Seeing none against, this committee will recommend approval as well. Are there any other comments that you'd like to make in regard to being on this committee? I
I
know that.
loved it, it was fantastic. I don't know what I'm gonna do without this committee.
I know, I want everybody to hopefully stay on it, but that's up to the
But we
vice
can't
mayor.
because it's a whole different committee now.
It's gonna be
It has other
a
stuff.
Frankenstein
Yeah.
version of it, so. I appreciate everybody's actions on these very important committees, and this one in particular just really means a lot to me. So thank you for your service, and with that, we conclude the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you.
And I thank you all for your support.
You gotta be